body on the shot. Go, Georgia Southern!
Humber kill once again.
Raymond Johnson, a huge sack in the final minute 40.
D'Angelo with the goal for Georgia Southern.
Eagle Nation, welcome into Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Alongside Colin Lacey, I'm Danny Reed. A lot to cover in this week's edition, a double dose of coaches with Brian Berg and Chad Lunsford. We're going to talk Georgia Southern soccer and volleyball and preview Texas State coming up in just a couple of moments at Paulson Stadium. But in our opening segment, brought to you by Optum Medical Center, we take a look back at the homecoming contest last Saturday against the Troy Trojans. Always festive in Statesboro when it's homecoming, even though only about 6,000 people are allowed in the stadium. But all week long, all we heard, Colin, for this Georgia Southern team, this was personal.
And you go back to a couple of notes that got brought up a couple of times throughout the week. The fact that Shai Wertz, as a starting quarterback, had never beaten Troy. Georgia Southern, under head coach Chad Lunsford as the head coach, had never beaten Troy. And so losing the last 3 straight games to Troy, it was something that Coach Lunsford talked about all week. He could give you the coach speak if you wanted it, of it's just another game and it's another opponent. But he told us multiple times that this one was personal, and it was the theme throughout the week.
And as that crowd settled in, they didn't see a whole lot of offense over the first 30 minutes. In fact, the only touchdown that was scored was on a pick six, a 44-yard interception return touchdown by Troy safety Del Pettis. For Georgia Southern, they had success moving the football despite losing both Wesley Kennedy and J.D. King due to injuries. But on their best 2 drives, they could only muster field goals. However, one of those drives was historic. 18 plays, 87 yards, 10:53 off the clock that bridged from the first quarter to the second quarter, the longest drive for Georgia Southern in 5 years.
And it was something that Georgia Southern had talked about all week, that the biggest thing to stopping the Troy offense was keeping them off the field. Georgia Southern's offense did that with the 2 long drives like you mentioned. Even though it only resulted in field goals, it kept points off the board for Troy, and especially that 11-minute drive.
Yeah, the Eagles had 24 minutes, 10 seconds time of possession in the first half. A really staggering number, but the only touchdown for Troy gave them a 10-6 lead going into the locker room. They added a field goal in the third quarter for a 13-6 lead when Gerald Green showed up, and man, did he show up. Second play of the next drive after that field goal, a career-long 69-yard touchdown run, the first of his career, and it was 13-13.
Had this first 100-yard rushing game of the season, and when you look at what he was able to do, everybody around the country, but especially Georgia Southern, ever since Coach Chad Lunsford took over, have always talked about the next man up mentality. You mentioned losing Wesley Kennedy and J.D. King in the first half, and Gerald Green is a guy that you haven't heard a whole lot about throughout the season so far in 2020, but he really burst on the scene and took on the mantra of next man up.
Yeah, he ends up with 10 carries for 109 yards, including that first career score. Georgia Southern's defense went into lockdown mode after that. Shai Wertz, the go-ahead touchdown, 20-13 on a 5-yard run, but the play right before that, Eagle fans are going to remember maybe forever. Najee Thompson, a brilliant 35-yard catch while being interfered with by O'Shea Fletcher, and then Wertz did a thing for his teammate, finishing that drive with a 6-pointer. And the defense, they held up in the fourth, limiting Troy to only 1 first down over their final 2 drives. The game-winning play, a Derek Canteen interception, his second of the game. First Eagle freshman with 2 picks in 1 game since Archie Thompson back in 1998. The 20-13 victory for Georgia Southern sent them to 5-2 on the season, 3-2 in conference play. And when we return from this timeout, it's a sit-down with men's basketball head coach Brian Berg as Blue White Weekly continues.
It's back. The return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first-place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. driver in your blind spot? We can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your local Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assist cash on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Explorer.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Hi, I'm Paul Newman with Statesboro Real Estate, the broker and owner, also co-owner of PMG Rentals, which is a property management company. As a Georgia Southern graduate in 2005, I got into real estate fresh out of school and was excited to have the opportunity to be the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. I would say what sets me apart is the drone and online marketing presence that Statesboro Real Estate has to offer. Statesboro is such a small town and just has a really cool feel to it, and it's neat to see somebody at the grocery store, at the ball fields, and know that you've helped them in the past and have the opportunity to continue to help them pursue their dream home. PMG Rentals is a great value adder to Statesboro Real Estate for the fact that if you're a renter, we can show you houses to buy in the future, and also if you're an investor, you can purchase with us and then lean to PMG as your property management for the future. Whether you're looking to buy an investment property, have it professionally managed with PMG Rentals, buying your first home, or buying your dream home, make sure you call Paul.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. After scoring his first Division I head coaching job, new head men's basketball coach Brian Berg has reached a major milestone in his career, experiencing success at every stop. But in this week's edition of a Georgia Southern story presented by Ford, for Brian Berg, success isn't a destination, it's an everyday activity.
Now it's been about 6 months since you were introduced as head coach. How have you been settling in?
Well, I've really enjoyed it. Statesboro, I love the community. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, but the people of Statesboro have been phenomenal, getting a chance to meet them and feeling at home. So I'm excited to be here.
When you were announced as head coach, you said it was a dream come true. You've been on quite the journey, 17 years of coaching to get to this point, your first job as a head coach of a Division I collegiate program. When did that dream begin for you to want to become a head coach of a D1 program?
Well, I think it happened early on. My father's my hero, and he was a college basketball player. I played college basketball. I was very fortunate to play in a great program at Mount Mercy University under Paul Gavin. And I just fell in love with the game from that point on. I knew I wanted to become a college basketball head coach. I had no clue how to go about doing that. And then I went back to basically my mentor, Chris Beard. Had a chance to visit with him. You know, he enlightened me on the process of how to become a college basketball coach, and I listened to him, went the junior college route, and kind of worked my way up through the profession. And this is a dream come true to be here at Georgia Southern.
Well, you got your start at Lake Erie College back in 2003, and since then, how do you think having that first job as a graduate assistant shaped you into the coach you are today?
Well, I think it's a great question. I was fortunate to work for Jim Dolan at Lake Erie College. But it's all about relationships. And I think that's one of the important things this day and age in college basketball is to have quality relationships. Coming here during the pandemic, I felt that the relationship piece was extremely important, not only for myself, but for our entire staff.
You come to Georgia Southern from Texas Tech, where the program made 4 trips to the NCAA tournament, including 2 deep runs during your time. How do you hope to bring that winning mentality to the men's basketball program here at Georgia Southern?
It's all based on rolling your sleeves up and getting the job done on a day-to-day basis. But it's winning habits. Each spot that I had, I've taken a little bit of a piece from each one of those spots and molded it into my own philosophy.
With your experiences through coaching, what are you specifically installing into this basketball program here at Georgia Southern?
Well, I think toughness. I think the toughest and hardest playing team, ends up winning. And I think if you're able to provide toughness on a day-to-day basis, you have trust amongst your teammates, and then an unselfish brand of basketball. If you're unselfish, it puts you in the best position to win.
And speaking of mentality, what's one motivational quote that comes to mind that you like to hang on to help you through difficult times?
I would say adversity introduces a man to himself. And I think we're in adverse times. Like I said earlier, we embrace adversity. It's something that you want to embrace because you can learn from it. And then also, chance favors the well-prepared. You can control your preparation. That's what we're going to do here at Georgia Southern. And then last but not least, taking a page out from Chris Beard is tough times past, tough people last. We're in some adverse times right now with the pandemic, but we're going to have the right mindset, and we're going to look forward to putting in a hard day's work on a day-to-day basis.
After the break, we take a look at Georgia Southern soccer and volleyball when Blue White Weekly continues.
What's important now, more than ever, is making sure you are connected. Bullet Solutions is Statesboro's partner in high-speed internet, phone, and smart home technology with residential and commercial solutions. We continue to move forward and are here to get you connected.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System, we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
What's important now, more than ever, is making sure you are connected. Bullet Solutions is Statesboro's partner in high-speed internet, phone, and smart home technology with residential and commercial solutions. We continue to move forward and are here to get you connected.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford. Go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. We begin our Olympic sports segment by taking a look at Georgia Southern soccer. And Colin, it's pretty much the end of the line for both men's and women's, but for the women's squad, they just finished things up at the conference tournament down in Foley, Alabama.
Yeah, that was Monday afternoon, a first-round matchup with the Little Rock Trojans as the Eagles fell to the Trojans by a final score of 2-1. That finishes up their season. But a couple of good news notes coming out later on in the week as Marcela Montoya was named a first-team All-Conference, very deserving for that Georgia Southern Eagle. Georgia Southern men's soccer wrapped up the regular season over at Eagle Field in Irk Park this past Friday night against the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, and we take a look back at those highlights now. Georgia Southern men's soccer closes out the regular season at Eagle Field in Irk Park last Friday night against the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Coastal got on the board first, 14 minutes into the game, as Marcelo Jones dribbled down the left side, cuts inside the box, and finds the back of the net for his first goal of the season and puts Coastal Carolina up 1-0. Less than a minute later, Marcelo Jones would find Noah Glorioso with the cross, and finishes point blank in front of the net for a 2-0 Coastal Carolina lead. It would stay 2-0 until the final minute of the game when Claudio Rapido would send one in from long range. It would deflect off the Eagle keeper, off the left post and into the goal for a 3-0 Coastal Carolina lead. 3-0 would be your final score as Georgia Southern would have only 3 shots on the game to 15 for the Chanticleers. Coastal Carolina improves to 5-1. Eagles fall to 1-8 on the year. Tough loss for Georgia Southern men's soccer in the regular season finale against the Chanticleers. Oh, by the way, they opened up the Sun Belt Conference tournament against the top-seeded Coastal Carolina Chanticleers last night in a tournament hosted by Georgia State up in Atlanta. But, Danny, you've also got Georgia Southern volleyball making their way back to Hanner this weekend.
Yeah, they just played Troy over the last couple of days. They had Coastal last weekend up in Conway. They were swept by the Chanticleers. They're now 14-0 coming into the week as this team continues to try to build confidence, coming back both physically and mentally from their COVID quarantine. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, it was great to see Georgia Southern back inside Hanner Fieldhouse the last couple of days. That ends the regular season for Georgia Southern volleyball. They now look to Foley, Alabama for the Sun Belt Conference tournament next week.
And when we come back from this timeout, we step into Coach's Corner with the head ball coach of Georgia Southern football, Chad Lunsford. That's when Blue White Weekly continues.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your local Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assist cash on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Explorer.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford. Go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back on this week's edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Out here at Allen E. Paulson Stadium for this week's edition of Coach's Corner with Georgia Southern head football coach Chad Lunsford. And, Coach, everybody talks about the negatives that go along with COVID-19 and the restrictions here in 2020, but what are some of the positive that you guys have taken from this year?
I think the negative test of COVID is the positive. I think there's a lot of things, a lot of good things that's come from it. It makes you appreciate things that you just take for granted. An off season with a football team, that it shows you how important it is. I think also too, it gave us a little bit of time to maybe reconnect with people because we couldn't do the things that we would normally do. We couldn't be 100 miles an hour. It really slowed things down in life. And let you reconnect with the people that you love and reconnect with the people that sometimes you do take for granted because they are there for you, So I think those are definitely positives.
Another difference that you've had to deal with in 2020 is Election Day. The Tuesday leading into the Troy game, you had Election Day, the NCAA coming out and saying that no team activities on that day, but you and the staff took it upon yourselves to come out that you weren't going to have practice or football activities that day anyway. Why was that so important to you guys?
Well, I think it was important that our guys saw that we were serious. And I think, you know, our guys needed that opportunity to, one, if they needed to vote that day, vote, but also, two, pay attention to the whole system and how the system works and continue to grow in that area. So, you know, I just think that shows that, you know, it's not just about ball, and it's got to be bigger than ball.
So we go more on the field in 2020 for Georgia Southern football. What's the biggest area of growth that you've seen from this team?
I would say the player leadership. There's been so many more challenges, and I'd say our guys have done a really good job of that, of staying positive, and not in the COVID world, but just staying positive in general, and but really trying to lead and trying to do things right, and try for it to be a team-oriented thing, not just a selfish ambition.
A number of tighter games this year in 2020 for Georgia Southern football, and we've talked about it a couple of times, how you're getting younger guys considerable snaps this year. What does that do for their maturation process?
I think it means the world, because these guys have took meaningful reps, because really all our games except for one have been close, and so every rep that they took matters. And that's what we try to teach with our team. We try to teach that you never know when the play is going to be the play.
What excites you the most of going down the back half of this season?
I think the thing that I'm very excited about is you just continue to see growth in each position. You continue to see growth in all phases that we concentrate on. We have not played our best ball yet either. That's what I keep encouraging our guys about, man. Just keep fighting to play your best football game.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the year.
All right. Thank y'all. GATA.
Once again, that's head coach Chad Lunsford for Georgia Southern football in this week's edition of Coach's Corner. We'll be back with more Blue White Weekly right after this.
This is it. This is the day we worked for. All the months of preparation, all the hard work. Blue collar, discipline, toughness. That is what has led to this moment. There are people out there that tell you you can't do it. But what do we say to that? GATA! They will tell you you're not fast enough. They'll tell you you're not strong enough. But what do we say to that? GATA! They will tell you you can't have it, you don't deserve it. But what do we say to that? GATA! Get after those assets.
So you'd like to open a checking account today?
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your local Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assist cash on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Explorer.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Greetings from Vive Country, your new crazy fast neighbor, now in 16 states. We're thrilled to be your home and business internet, phone, and TV provider. From cutting-edge technology to excuse-free customer service, we're committed to our local communities. We've been working non-stop upgrading and enhancing our fiber-based network that delivers speeds up to 5 gig internet. We believe in faster speeds, community involvement, and 100% customer satisfaction. Join Vive Country today at vivebroadband.com.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford. Go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. This week's final segment is our football opponent preview brought to you by Georgia Power. It's the end of a 3-game homestand as Georgia Southern tries for its 5th win in 6 tries and the 6th overall victory in 2020. It feels like a non-conference game, though, Colin, against Texas State because we haven't seen the Bobcats in 2 years, and they haven't been to Paulson Stadium since 2015.
And this will be the first time in a while that they've been here on a Saturday because that 2015 matchup was on a Thursday.
I'll do you one better. This is the first time ever that they've been here on a Saturday. 3-1 all-time in the series. That only loss was in San Marcos in the 2005 FCS playoffs. Texas State's been struggling this year. There's no denying that. They have a 1-8 record with 6 consecutive losses, but you look up and down the depth chart, you look up and down the statistics. This is a talented team. They just haven't seen it fully click yet.
Yeah, we heard from Coach Lunsford on Monday night on Inside Georgia Southern Football, the coaches show over at the Gene Bishop Fieldhouse, that this is the best 1-8 football team he has seen in quite a while. This is a Texas State team that comes in, and we've talked about it on the upward rise, have not had the greatest history the last couple of years, but you see so much talent around this team.
Yeah, since they won 7 games in 2014, it did not go to a bowl. Sunbelt didn't have as many ties back then. They haven't cracked 3 victories in any season. But on offense, it's an air raid system that doesn't necessarily go as up-tempo as some of those systems that were developed by Dana Holgerson, Hal Mumme, Mike Leach. All part of the same tree, though, with head coach Jake Spavital now calling plays in year 2 after Bob Stitt was the offensive coordinator in 2019. 2 quarterbacks have played this year. Brady McBride, the Memphis transfer, called a Johnny Manziel clone. He has struggled the last few weeks, 5 INTs over his last 2 games. That's why a quarterback change was made for Appalachian State. Tyler Vitt got the ball for the 3rd time this year, somebody that the Eagles saw 2 years ago in San Marcos when he started that game on that Thursday night.
We've talked about it throughout the week on the podcast about how when you have Vitt, the biggest thing that he brings to the table is not making quite as many mistakes as McBride did. And so being able to have that consistency, the kind of calming hand for this offense is really a big part for this Texas State team.
Different kind of defense, a 3-3-5 under coordinator Zach Spavital. Yes, he is Jake's brother. But since they haven't faced a gun option team, it's going to be tough to figure out exactly how they line up. They play mostly a 5-man box with 2 linebackers. The key, though, has been the strength of the defensive lineman, Nico Ezador, who's 3rd in the league with 9 tackles for loss.
And he is a guy that is so dynamic. You hear the buzzword of twitchy and quick so much when you talk about defensive linemen, and he fits that bill. He may be one of the most underrated defensive linemen in the Sun Belt Conference and a big key for Georgia Southern this week.
He's had to load up with Power 5 transfers and really transfers of all kinds of shapes and forms because 50 guys on this roster were not there in 2019, trying to shake off some of the rust from the Everett Withers era when he only won 7 games in 3 seasons. This is a project, and we hope for Texas State that it does not find a victory in just a couple of moments here at Allen E. Paulson Stadium. We're going to kick it off at 3:30 on ESPN+. Eagle Tailgate Show begins across the network at 1:30. Thanks as always to the folks at the Multimedia Development Center. For Colin Lacey, this is Danny Reed. We'll talk to you next week on Blue White Weekly.